Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 14th of March. So before we get cracking on the currencies here, looking through them, just a quick look at the possible news that could impact our trading today. And well, we've already seen the UK data out there, affecting the pound, the claimant count coming in at 11.2, minus 11.2, which is positive. Average earnings 5.7. Really hasn't dropped back. It came in with expectation. Actually, previous was 6, so it has come off a little bit. It's going to be a tough one to keep down there with all the higher rates of pay requested. So I think that's going to struggle a little bit. But overall, it is a roll-in figure, and it will roll itself neutral. Right, so nothing else today apart from then the US inflation data, and that's a biggie. That's this afternoon at 12:30 because the hour differences, so we just got to watch out for that. Okay, that's today. Looking then at the markets themselves, I've sort of been scouting through here. It looks like the euro's coming off a bit this morning. Across the market, it's markets across its peers. It's closed above its monthly pivot. I was getting a little bit more bullish, and well, there might be reason to be yet, but on the shorter time frames, it's just not that convincing at the moment. It has put on probably, well, certainly with a divergence between those two highs there. It's rolled off, hasn't triggered the low of that point, so between the two highs, so not fully committed on that yet. But it's just the way it's sold off here, not looking particularly good at the moment. So close to its S1, certainly not a pair to be for me to be going and playing with today, or trading either. Pound dollar. Well, the pound dollar was a bit more certain yesterday. I would have thought this news might have been a bit more pound positive, although I guess the wage inflation has come down slightly, so probably taken the heat off a little bit. But see what it does post 8 o'clock. It could be on for a surge up to its R1. I like the higher lows, higher highs through on this time frame, and yes, it has come off for the moment. We'll see what happens in the new hour. If it overtakes top there, I'm interested. If it runs through the lower side here, not interested at all. It's seen too much of a positive sort of move at the moment, although overall it's ugly, really ugly. Pound yen. Pound yen, well, so I'd say pound yen, dollar yen even, I'll get the right way around. I'm still thinking of the pound. Dollar had a good day yesterday, coming off to its 50 MA here. It's lower highs, it's looking quite positive at the moment, and we could see yet another move in that direction. We've sorry, getting ahead of myself here. We've broken the monthly S1 here. We haven't touched the pivot. S2 becomes more of a potential. We'll see how this rolls off this morning. It has a sort of a flaggy pattern that's rolling across here, and it's trying its best somewhere along those lines to it's trying to close below it at the moment. Has some scope on the downside. We'll see. As I said, we need to give it a bit of time, maybe on the break of the lows there. Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar was it turned the corner a little bit yesterday, but didn't manage to close up there. Now it is moving at the moment, and we're seeing these commodity currencies catching a bit of the bid there, so it is looking a little bit more bullish than it was. It's done quite a bit. It's had the divergence over the lows. It's broken through that. It's given us higher lows through the 4-hourly time frame here. It's broken its trend line. Didn't manage to close above it. Would prefer to see it do that yet, which is a possibility. It's quite a mess when you look at this hourly picture. It really has been to and fro a little bit, but marginally more bullish technically. Still not sure on the fundamentals with it, but technical is certainly going that way. Canadian, US dollar Canadian then, and it too is looking there. It's put lower highs already in. it's got a potential ride back to these prior highs here. There's a support into that direction. That's pretty much where it looks like it could be off today. S1 not that far away. Okay, morning flow, Cam, David, sorry, morning, Michael, Ian, you're everywhere. New Zealand dollar, let's have a quick flick of the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, it's also given it's not strong looking, or I don't know, in some respects it's stronger than and it had been stronger than the Aussie. I'd been trading it against itself, but the Aussie just getting that kicker at the moment, and well, the New Zealand dollar itself is kicking off here today. Maybe certainly worth waiting to post 8 o'clock, but could, the way it's running, be heading further north. So we're seeing this sort of dollar softening, right? Well, I say dollar softening. We've seen a dollar softening on the commodity currencies and the yen, but we've seen it strengthen against the pound and the euro at the moment. But the pound may reverse post 8 o'clock. Current cross pairs here I'm sort of struggling in at the moment. I struggled yesterday to see anything pre 8 o'clock. Gave it about, I don't know, an hour, and there was 3 or 4 things to choose from. In fact, let's just go and have a look at those 3 or 4 things. I was looking at the pound Aussie yesterday. That caught the buy side on the eventually, but it didn't trigger when I was looking for it. I was looking for it earlier at air kiss, the pivot at that stage. That went back up to its highs, but didn't do a lot actually. Where was it? Struggled. Pound Aussie. Yeah, it's definitely. I was looking for the swing off the weekly pivot, but as I said, it swung, but not far enough, and it would have actually it would have stopped me out on that one, to be fair. But the Aussie yen and the Aussie New Zealand were two that I liked. I liked it after these 8 o'clock bars when they were closed, 9 o'clock off that. I mean the yen just absolutely flew, and Aussie New Zealand, I was looking for a bigger target on this. It might, now I've actually exited, it might come off and still run down to that. I was, to be fair, looking at the higher time frames here, and maybe that higher low it just put in on the shorter time frames, just fractionally, might have been just nothing but noise. There's a lesson for the day. As it sits at the moment, it does actually look bearish again. Looking across the cross pairs, I just need to look at these this morning and see how they develop a little bit more. Euro Aussie, EURCAD is, if I can switch it, it's frozen on me at the moment. There we go, EURCAD's already gone for the moment. Euro Aussie, I thought we might have seen a better bit of price. It's already gone. It's gone early here, but it was a pair that had been pretty much shifting up quite strongly. But we just, as I say, we're seeing the Aussie, New Zealand both strong, and Canadian dollar today strong. Okay, not a lot else to add there at the moment. So, some of these cross pairs are looking cleaner than they have done recently, and might give us an opportunity post 8 o'clock. Right, switching markets briefly then, and looking at gold first. Commodities, just having a quick look, and gold did get a real shove up yesterday. This fearfulness of banks and things like this really saw a continuation there, and well, it's not far off its highs again. It looks like it might go through it. It hasn't caught the daily pivot yet today, but could be on for its R1. Crude, really looking at lower time frames. Well, we're seeing quite the opposite to what we normally see. When we see a weaker dollar, we normally see a higher oil price. This has actually come off the opposite way and is looking quite soft at the moment. Weekly pivots hit down to the S1, that's ticked that box. Short term, well, we could be looking for the break back down towards yesterday's body lows, or even the S1 at the way it's sitting at the moment. So looking soft there. Commodity market, equity markets there, and the CSI 300. Let's just look at these high time frame. This is still looking on the soft side of things, still running off soft. Nikkei continue this sell-off. I mean, crikey, it's I was talking about the island reversal yesterday, and it's just literally dumping at the moment. Nifty 50, no surprise there to see that. This has always been the weaker index, and off it's gone some more. Well, carried on going off yesterday after I spoke about it, and it's off again this morning. Looking at US markets, marginal upside here, but we're still in this sort of wave at the moment. I might even get my measuring stick out, start measuring these waves here, but looks like it's certainly in at least a C wave in terms of what's happening here in the bigger scheme of things. In fact, I might just look at the weeklies here. It's gotten really ugly on the weeklies, isn't it? Everything that was sort of starting to push up and look more positive is now back negative again. And certainly looking a bias towards that negative side. Dow Jones, similar situation here. We've already done a 1-to-1, I think, or not far off a 1-to-1 move on this more recent wave there. Still looking soft though. And the NASDAQ, again, lower highs. I mean, the banking situation with the Silicon Valley Bank, it's certainly not helped the equity markets there, and there's more of the jitters than in a lot of places. Close to home then, DAX yesterday just carried on selling there. It's a spoilt pattern, and the FTSE, there we go, and the FTSE's come off even further there. So at the moment, not looking great at all. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day, and I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.